Mermaid Mural Acrylic and Gel Nail Art Tutorial Part 3 by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you the last part of my mermaid mural, but really quick before I get to that, I just want to announce the winner to the crayon sets that I was giving away from the video that I uploaded last Monday, and that is Ashley Hannah. So if you could contact me within approximately 72 hours so I can get that mailed out to you, that would be fantastic. And also really quickly, I just want to say thank you for all of the comments that you have all sent me. It was so overwhelming. And I also want to say that I took all that love that I got from you and I just sort of passed that along to my mother, because it really is her. I mean, she does everything that I do. I mean, and she inspires me to do everything that I do. And so when I was telling her this, when I was mentioning some of the comments that you have all sent me, then she actually said that she was then going to pass all of it on to her dad, my grandfather, because it was because of him that she does what she does, that I do what I do. And I'm sure if my grandfather was around, he'd pass it on to my great-grandmother, and it'd probably just keep going up our lineage. So I just wanted to mention that quick, that really thank you so much. Those comments mean the world to me. And before I start crying here, I'm just going to continue on to the video, so I hope you like it. And if you missed the first two, there'll be links to those in the description box below, so check those out, and I will see you in my next video.
So just like I did with the mermaid in the previous video, and if you missed that one, go ahead and check the description box. There will be a link for it in there. I'm going to start, and I'm going to be adding the first layer of my octopus. So that's just going to be filling in clear acrylic in the crevice behind where I want the head to be. And then I'm going to be adding a layer of purple acrylic over that to create the top of his head. And then I'm going to be starting to sculpt out the tentacles. So on a nail form backing, I'm going to place down a bead of purple acrylic and then sort of just push it into that nice long skinny tentacle shape and give it kind of a wavy appearance. When that's almost ready, you know, you're going to pick that up, and almost set, you're going to pick it up and then place that on the nail, and you can kind of press it in to the base of the body or attach it with some clear acrylic if it was a little too set and didn't want to stay in place. So then just tack that with clear acrylic and then start working on another one. So on a nail form backing, repeat the exact same process. Purple bead of acrylic, form that. This time though, I'm going to curl the end up into like a little curlicue, and then I'm going to pick that up and place it on the nail on the other side. So I went back and forth, so I would do one on one side, then one on the other side. And I did this for all 8 tentacles. So there's the first 2, adding a little bits of clear acrylic underneath here and there where it is necessary. And now I'm going to be working on another one, making sure that they all, you know, have a different shape and they're none of them identical. Pick that up, and actually I know I said I was going to go back and forth. For the most part I did. So I'm going to do this one that's still on the same side, place that on there, and then I will make one for the other side now. So do that, and then I'm going to start curling in some more, or maybe I am lying to you and I did not actually do them all back and forth. Like I said in the previous video, it's been a long time since I actually made this, because I made this, I think back in, it was either I think it was in November when I made this, and so it's been a long time. And so even though I've watched this video, I'm still, you know, kind of remembering what I did right along with you. So now here's going to be for the other side. So then there's the first one, pick that up, set that down, and I am going to be overlapping a couple of these over my mermaid. So then there's that, and then I'm going to be adding another one. Here's the next tentacle. So now I've got 3 for each side. I'm going to pick that up and set that down in place. And like I said, if you need to, definitely tack them in place with some clear acrylic where it's necessary. And now I'll be adding another one for the other side. And so when you added these last 2, make sure that you fill in any weird gaps if there are any. And then for the one that's on the other side that I seem to forgot to show you making, you're going to want to have the end of it touch her wrist, and then add little bits of acrylic curling around her arm to make it look like he's holding her down. And then I'm going to be adding some more of that purple acrylic over his head, blending that into the tentacles to make it a little bit more like a smooth blended thing, to make it look like he is actually part of the tentacles and they all do connect to each other. And then using a lighter color of acrylic, I did add a little bit of that to the head to really highlight that. And then I'm going to take some more of that lighter lilac-y type color, and I'm going to be highlighting the tentacles here and there just a little bit, just so that they aren't such a smooth color, that they do have some variance in them. Just little bits here and there. Add a little bit more of that color to the top of the head, really making sure that it's nice and 3D, and then pulling that down and keeping little crevices sort of on the sides where the eyes go and giving that some shape there. And then I'm going to be making 3 small tentacles, and this is going to be for a sea jelly. And so there's the first one. This is with very, very bright yellow acrylics. There's number 1. I'm going to pick that up and place it on the nail where I want my sea jelly to go. He didn't stay very well because I need some clear acrylic to stay in place. So there's the first one, tacking that in place just like with the octopus's tentacles with some clear acrylic. Here's the next one. Going to fix that, make sure it's all into a nice shape. Pick that up, set it down. Once again, tack it in place with clear acrylic, make sure it's going to stay where you want it to be. You could also use nail glue for that, but I like that clear acrylic. Nail glue is a little unpredictable to me. You can sometimes get way too much of it. Sometimes it likes to dry with like a white, chalky appearance. So using clear acrylic is a safe bet. Then here's the last one, the longest tentacle. Add that on top in between of the other two. And then with some more of that really bright color yellow and clear, I'm going to be adding the bell. So I took a bead and I first dipped it into clear acrylic and then into that bright yellow. This is going to help with that transparency that the jellyfish have. Add a little bit of yellow, or orange along the bottom of the bell to really make that a little bit more intense of a color. Add that just like that. And then I'm going to be with bright green acrylic adding a seahorse to my mermaid. And I don't know if anyone else is going to notice this, but I didn't notice this as I was making it, but as I was rewatching this, I'm thinking, why on earth did I put a seahorse above her up in the middle of the water? That doesn't make any sense, and it's bothering me now that I'm rewatching this, and something that I would never do again. Nonetheless, I did it, and so he's floating in the middle of the water for no particularly good reason, way in a different area of the ocean than he would be, because they like to be in kelp. So I don't know, I made him with bright green. And then I'm going to be adding some 3D stuff for the dark side, and I'm going to start with an anglerfish and brown acrylic, adding that little tentacle with some white, adding more brown to him, making sure that he does have some 3D shape. They seem to have a really skinny tail area, but then this really big jaw. So make sure that that jaw is really nice and 3D. Add his fin and his tail with some of that white acrylic and really sort of mess that up with your with a silicone tool so it's not so clean looking, so it's got kind of a, I don't know, a disastrous appearance. Attach him with clear acrylic. And now I'm going to start painting everyone. So I'm going to start with the mermaid and brown paint and just go through and sort of define all of her skin areas and make sure that that has a nice appearance on it. Add a line down the back for her spine, and then also a little bit on her shoulder blades. Add some details to her ear and to her cheekbone. Highlight her with white, and it's diluted white, it's not full strength there. And then I'm going to be adding her eye with white. Add her lips with pink, her pupil or her iris with pink, and then some black here and there, going all around, adding black in her hair as well, just sort of defining those circles or those swirls and making sure her hair has different levels to it and some dimension. And then I'm going to be just adding little black details here and there, everywhere that I feel needs to have a little bit more of an intensity in the detail. Add some highlights in her hair with some gold color, make sure that's nice and shiny and shimmery and has some movement in it. And then highlight some more with white. You want her hair to look really reflective and shiny. And then I'm going to be deepening the shadows on her tail with some red, and this is diluted red just to make sure that it really does have dimension to it. And so adding these little, like I said, deepening the shadows is really going to make everything look more dimensional. Intensify the highlights with some yellow paint on her fins and on her tail. So just add those lines on the fins and then add little polka dots over your white or your yellow highlights on her tail, and then add some more highlights on her tail fins with some yellow, just a little bit. Just so take a little bit of paint on your brush and pull in from the outside going to the center. And then add some orange dots on her tail to add some more scales. Add some orange highlights on her tail fin. A red line up the center. And then add just, little bits here and there. Keep adding color until you're happy with her. Now she's pretty much done, and now I'm going to be adding the eyes on my octopus. Add some white lines on him just to really make him look like he's veiny. And then add some highlights there, and then highlight the tentacles with diluted white paint just to really brighten them. And highlighting them on one side is going to help separate them from each other, so even though they are a mess of tentacles, you can tell them apart. And then add some dark purple on the bottoms of each tentacle, and also a little bit on the head. And then add white polka dots. So do white dots along the bottom edge of each tentacle. This is going to be for the suction cups, and octopi have 250 suction cups per tentacle. So I didn't do that many. I did however many fit comfortably on there, but make sure that you add a lot of them and that your dots are relatively small. So there's a significant number of suction cups on each tentacle. Just like that. And then I'm going to be highlighting my sea jelly with some orange. First I'm going to be adding shadows on him, and then I'm going to be highlighting with some diluted white paint, really on the tentacles because you just want them to all look really bright, also on the bell some there. And then I'm going to be adding my details to my anglerfish that's 3D, starting by just painting him and making sure that he does, because that brown just seemed really flat to me. So I'm going to be adding some more dimension to that, adding color in his eye, highlighting all the white sections, adding some teeth, and then I'm also going to be detailing my out of place seahorse. Still bothers me. Can't believe I did that. Add his eye, and then I'm going to be putting some gel sealer, really glossy and shiny, over all of the 3D stuff. Usually I have a glossy background and a matte 3D. I did this the other way because everything under here is wet. It's all under the ocean, so I thought having it shiny would really show it off the best. So this is the final result, and if you have missed the previous 2 videos, as I said, there will be links to those in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this little series with me. I had so much fun making it, and I really hope that you enjoyed watching how I made it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!